Hi, this is Derek Tsai from LearnByBlogging.com. I will be reviewing this book. I can't make this up. Life Lessons by Kevin Hart. I can't make this up. Life Lessons by Kevin Hart. And you can follow along over here. I can't make this up. Life Lessons by Kevin Hart. I don't think you can find a harder working comedian like Kevin Hart, who told his story in the book, starting from his humbling beginning of being born into a single family with a religious, loving mom and a supportive older brother. Occasionally, his father would show up sober and sometimes high, scouting for money from his mother. And without his mother, I don't think Kevin would have been as successful as he is today. His work ethics and the tight leash that his mother imposed on him turned him into one disciplined and one persistent pursuer of success. And life taught him many lessons he learned with earnest and kept wanting more out of life. His life with his first wife was full of violence, domestic violence, and remorse in cycles. I went through cycles of violence and remorse and makeup and all that stuff. He finally recognized as he was eventually broke it off and made good on his relationship with his two children and his ex-wife. I think his wife's Tori. Brushed with death by over-drinking, and he finally recognized by still getting his first DUI that he had jeopardized his and other people's lives under alcohol, and got braver as he get drunker and drunker, the way he react to alcohol. Many people don't know how difficult it is to be a stand-up comedian. At least I never realized how hard it is to kill, or using the term, to kill the audience. Started out telling jokes at a shoe store while selling shoes. He turned his talent of making people laugh into a career and kept at it despite, in the beginning, it didn't pay much money. And he had to borrow money from his mother and others to make ends meet. Even when he reached a certain level of reputation, he still cannot get the movie deals or Saturday Night Live position that he was coveting for. But he kept at it and went back to basic to do stand-up, and took advantage of the new social networking tool like Facebook and at that time would be or something else, when he gradually gained the followings of the fans. It wasn't an easy journey. An aspiring comedian want to be should read this book and learn from the master's tips, like not just telling jokes, but telling and make his life story laughable so that his own name brand becomes more endearing. How you tell the stories are critical to get the most laugh, to separate the men from the boys. It took a lot of practices and frequent failure to get it just right. There are many quotes that are quite inspirational, like this one here, dealing with failure. You can't control events that happen to you, but you can control your interpretation of them. So why not choose a story that serves your life the best? Very wise quote. Acceptance, then, is knowing that your plan fails or your road dead ends. It means a bigger plan is at work, and I'd rather be part of the bigger plan than the smaller ones. Very positive. Every experience is a potential life lesson. Even if you don't appreciate at that time, each struggle in the present is preparing you for something else in the future. If you are strong enough to handle rejections without taking it personally, without holding a grudge, and without losing your passion and drive, then you'll be strong enough to reap the benefits, the rewards. On dealing with success as you get older, get more famous, to win the race, then having talent, speed, endurance help. But those things are nothing without commitments. takes a commitment to be successful or even more successful. If you want to keep growing, it is no choice but to stretch yourself on your own, increase your thinking, your capability, and your accomplishments. It's a scary thing to take the risks and make the sacrifice necessary to keep growing, but it's better than living a life in which you don't fulfill your potential. Success is not an excuse to stop. It's a reason to move the goalpost farther out and accelerate. There's no destination but a journey, and that journey is to keep building on top of what you are building. If this sounds arrogant, that's because it is. If you don't believe in your own greatness, no one else will. You are limited only by your own doubts and your fears, and your desire to fit in rather than to stand out. And there's room in the world for all of us to stand out. And as you get mature dealing with many people, in treating others, it's always respecting, acknowledging people as equals, going through their own struggles, whether their status in the room was higher or lower than mine. That's how he treats other people. Unhumored. Entertainer makes you laugh, but an artist makes you understand. Very tricky. The humor was in my uniqueness, my personality, not the way I saw life, but the way I did life. Interesting. So Kevin Hart basically revealed his secrets to success in the book. I highly recommend this book. If you want a lot more out of your life, and you don't even know you are capable of getting. So I don't expect to be inspired by the book, but I was really inspired by it. Very good book, and I highly recommend it. That's all I have today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.